Hello and welcome back to another Bad Movie Reviews review hosted by your favourite head of HQ of Alien Resistance, Ben from Down Under, and I'm reviewing a film I've been super psyched for a long time since I saw it was announced. And look, I'm sure you would be too if you are familiar with his work, if you're familiar with the story. Obviously it is Bugonia, which is a English remake of a film from the early 2000s called Save the Green Planet, and this is an adaptation from Yorgos Lanthimos, who is one of my favorite working directors. You always know what you're going to get. Obviously, there's a stylistic vibe of everything he does. There are always these absurdist, dark comedy, really messed up movies, and this is no different. It is Bugonia, and it stars Emma Stone. You've also got Jesse Plemons, Stavros Halkias, Aidan Delbus, and the film is essentially, to keep it very bare bones as possible, it's about two men who are somewhat obsessed with conspiracies who kidnap the CEO of a huge company that and are convinced that she is an alien who has set out to destroy Earth. Obviously, as I go through that plot, I'm sure you're thinking, yeah, right, it sounds very full on and very odd, and you'd be very correct. Obviously, Yorgos is a very highly acclaimed director, did Poor Things, did Killing of a Sacred Deer, Dogtooth, Kinds of Kindness last year, which, to be honest, I reviewed and I probably wasn't that big of a fan of that, but I'm happy to say this is great. This is a great film. I need it to probably settle before I say it's, my favourite Yorgos or up there, because it is a film where you absorb a lot of information, and I think I enjoyed it the most. It's probably, to be fully honest, it's probably actually Yorgos that is most held back. It's like restrained. It's a film that he's actually, in terms of his like blend, like he always uses these really interesting um, angles and lenses and things like that. And his like this stylistic choice is still there. You can tell it's a Yorgos film, frame to frame. But his actual, it's probably his most accessible film, if I'm being honest. Still very weird, but I think this film just merges all themes incredibly well. It's a film that is genuinely devastating. It is extremely upsetting and depressing, and it's also extremely hilarious and also very human. And there's not many directors or that can really manage to intertwine that. And I just loved the performances here. I think Emma Stone is fantastic. Jesse Plemons is fantastic. All the supporting cast is really great. I actually thought the script here is what was best, because the way the whole film is restrained and holds back from and withholds information from you, and as you go on you learn a little bit more as to these certain characters' motivations, and it becomes almost a film where you're laughing because you don't really know what else to do, in the sense that it's a funny film. But when you learn, certain backstories of characters and certain ambitions and motivations as to why they're doing these things, it's extremely dark and really quite sad. And I think the script is brilliant work, to be honest, because the ability to really balance that humor with the humility and the really dark, devastating stuff is really impeccable, to be honest. It's a very interesting study into, obviously, society, conspiracies, the like the class power, and what leads people to do these things, and losing, like it's a really interesting look into that aspect of it. And I think it really leads up to a phenomenal third act. I think the third act is fantastic, and you'll know when it starts, and it's really quite bleak and really hard to watch. But I had a genuine ball with this. I actually think it probably was the fact that it was restrained and probably his most accessible film, I think, really helped this in a sense that it allowed the plot to really soak in and what statements it's trying to make compared to some of his previous work. But I think this is Yorgos, to be honest, probably at his best, and I'm extremely happy for it. I had an absolute ball. I think it's a great movie. I think everyone here is impeccable acting-wise. I just beg people to go see this. I think if you're a fan of Yorgos, you'll probably have a great time with this. But if you have seen it, comment below, let me know what you think. If you like the review, give it a like. Follow us for more. We'll catch you next time.